Just a quick disclaimer here. I was super iffy on if I should release this or not because one of our microphones has an echo to it slightly. Not sure what was causing it. We got to figure it out, but there's just not enough time to re-record, and I'm spending far too much time trying to fix it. So we're just going to run with it. If it's too bad, sorry, shouldn't be the case next episode. Otherwise, enjoy. Welcome to episode 123 of the Inside Bite. I'm your host, Tim Schaefer. I'm here with my co-host, Rudy. How you doing this week?
Hey, Tim. Doing great, actually. Had the day off yesterday, so, plenty of time for gaming, of course. Otherwise, man, we were discussing before, and both feel really old and tired right now.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm in a constant state of I'm so lethargic.
I mean, I know what it is. I'm just too overworked and doing too many things. But it's a bunch of stuff that I can't turn down.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Same with me. My commute is something I definitely can't change. That doesn't make things any better when I'm already tired driving an hour.
Oh, I didn't know it was an hour. That sucks.
It really does suck.
Is this always been an hour?
No, as long as I've been a teacher, it's been an hour. We've lived in the same place. So. If I didn't love my job as much as I did, I'd definitely go somewhere else. But
is it purely distance, or is it because always traffic, or like?
Oh no, it's just the distance. Yeah. Okay. So an hour is if everything's good. If there's bad traffic, 5-10 minutes out probably.
Yeah.
So it definitely sucks, but. I guess that's a testament to how good that job is, in my opinion. So
all the stuff I'm doing with the Inside Bite, but I'm also trying to always do more with the Inside Bite of trying to get the videos right, or trying to make clips, or try to make shorts. But it's always just never having the time. But then Nerds on Tap stuff that I'm doing, and then now I'm a part of this scene Pensacola where I'm actually going to be running their YouTube, and it's basically just trying to find artists in the area and trying to spotlight them and get them, recognition and attention or whatever. So people can be artist meaning a musician, or artist meaning a painter. It could be whatever.
Okay.
Now they're just so big into music, including myself, that probably 98% of it's music, but they're really trying hard to, all right, let's start actually introducing some, anyway, scenepetsacola.com though, check it out. I think they're doing phenomenal work. So I was really happy to join them. We're actually doing a meetup tomorrow. Speaking of which, just meeting two different bands there, getting to meet the crew, stuff like that. But nobody's wanting to be on camera, or nobody's really in it so far of doing video. So that's my angle in all of this, is I want to start actually going to shows, capturing video, because we got photographers, but no one actually capturing video, or doing interview, video interviews with different band members, stuff like that. So that's the whole angle there. And I'm actually thinking about just trying to find a bunch of, as long as it's footage from the area, trying to find footage of I recorded at a previous shows, and just try to find footage from anyone and everyone that I can, as long as they're okay with me having it, and just sort of archiving shows within the area. I don't care if it's 20 years back or happened last week. I think it'd be cool to people, I don't know, they go to a show and they think about it years later and they're like, oh, what if there's footage of it? It'd be always neat to pull up an old show. And I would like to start cool. Uploading and archiving shows in the area. So that's where my mind's going with that. And that's what I want to start doing. So
that is a cool idea. I like that.
Yeah. Anyway, bunch of Steam Deck stuff, really just OLED model coming out. So before we even get into talking about the OLED model coming out, I wanted to, a year and a half, probably even closer to 2 years of us having this thing.
Yep.
And I just want to share our thoughts of what we even think about this machine so far. And I don't know, pros and cons, what we like, what we don't, and just getting into it all. You can start. I mean, what are some cons that Rudy has with this device?
I guess I think it's super loud. I don't know if you've had the same experience as me, but it does sound kind of like a jet engine at times. I understand why. I get it.
I thought you meant audio coming out from a game.
No.
Sorry.
No. Yeah. Again, that's not like a huge thing, but it does get hot and it gets loud, at times. So I feel like this next iteration, they're definitely going to find a way to improve that a bit, as they always do.
Well, there's nothing saying anything about that with this, so I am curious if they will actually improve that. That's one I would like to know.
I guess I was thinking just in general, right? As these new iterations come out.
Oh, yeah.
Just by very nature, it'll get better. But you're right. That'd probably be a big selling point. Maybe they should talk about it if that's the case. Or maybe Steam's so confident, they're like, we don't even need to talk about this. I don't know.
Yeah, the fans are really loud, and it does. Now, the hotness, it's not like it is even really touching where your hands are. But if you go to feel where it's coming out of, oh, yeah, it's hot.
Yeah. And again, I'm pulling out cons. I love this thing, but I'm just trying to think of anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what are some cons you may have.
Okay, here's another one. I know like people like you and Dave, like you guys can figure out ways to get around this easily. And I'm sure I could too. But for your average person, I think it would be really great if you could play everything besides Steam on there. Just 1, 2, 3, go. Without having any work.
Let's pause right there and get into this. There's the third segment of this, and we'll go ahead and discuss it now. Sure. Valve shares update on Steam Deck dual boot support, so you can switch between Steam OS and Windows. So over a year and a half after release, you can only dual boot Windows and Linux, but you can't actually go into Steam OS, the interface of the Steam Deck, basically. Yeah, you could load up Windows, you can load up Linux and switch between those two of like full-on OSs, but you don't get the nice Steam OS, which I do really like. So I've never wanted to install Windows on this thing because I don't want to lose that. I don't want to just boot into Windows and have like a Windows handheld. I think the Steam OS is more appealing than having that.
I love the Steam. I would like to be able to play these, Epic Game Store or whatever.
With Steam Deck OLED now in the spotlight, Valve reassures gamers that dual boot support and Steam OS improvements are still very high on the list, and the development team will be making some significant changes to the operating system in the next year. Steam Deck designer Lawrence Yang told IGN in an email that the development team has not forgotten dual boot support, but work on it is delayed since all the SteamOS developers have been working on getting Steam Deck OLED out. Dual boot support and SteamOS general install is very high on the list. It also happens that all of these OS folks have been working on getting Steam Deck OLED out the door. That said, we're planning to make meaningful progress in SteamOS updates in the coming year. Valve confirmed in an interview that work on Steam Deck OLED began immediately after shipping the first. So right when they shipped it, they're like, oh, let's do an OLED, which then just do an OLED and don't ship it. Anyway, Steam Deck is fully capable of dual booting, but you can't dual boot Steam OS and Windows, as Valve said in Steam support, like I've said. But once that's the case and that's added, yes, it doesn't mean that, you still have to boot into Windows, right? And play whatever games that Windows support and then go back to Steam OS. But you know how if you hold the power button, you can switch between like desktop version and game? I am assuming when you hold that, you could go into a Windows, right? And then you just back out and go back to your Steam OS. If it works like that, I'm totally happy with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that was the case, am I understanding correctly that basically you'd be able to Windows work?
Because you have Windows, so you don't have to worry about any compatibility or anything like that.
Okay, well, very cool. Then concern I have there. Besides those two things, maybe the startup time. I'm so spoiled by the Switch. I understand the Switch is a way less powerful system, but man, it is nice to press the Switch using the time you're in.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck is like, it's black for a few seconds, and you see the button, and then
maybe 20 seconds. I want to say. I'm trying to guess. Yeah.
It definitely takes definitely a noticeable amount of time. So I'd like if they can improve that. That'd be nice. But all things considered, just like you were saying the other day on like Facebook post, the system is an amazing system. Every time I get a game that I can play on my Steam Deck, it's just so nice. I just love. It's the same idea that I talked about with the Switch. Same exact idea, you know. But you're playing these games that you typically would not be able to. So it's really great. You know, like Alan Wake Remastered, which I'll talk about later. I was so mad. I was like really considering just playing the original version because I was like, I really want to play this on my Steam Deck.
Yeah,
you know, and it's on Epic Game Store. So, but American Nightmare, I'm gonna play on my Steam Deck for sure. So,
and you will see with American Nightmare because DLC, it's not like it's not a different engine or anything like that. So I'm curious what your thoughts when you play that of like, oh, I could have just played Alan Wake original off Steam and not even worry about the remaster. Like, I'm curious of like, was the remaster that big of a difference or an upgrade? And you would know after playing. So when you do play American Nightmare, you know, let us know because I'm curious on that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, but yes, I just wanted to get the cons out of the way. The only other thing, which is the third, and it's big, I agree with the other two, is the heaviness. It's heavy.
Very
now,
heavy.
The Steam Deck OLED is the same way. It's a little less, 1.41 compared to 1.47 pounds.
So it's barely.
Okay. But, man, I would use it far more if it was lighter. That's my biggest gripe that I've learned to. At first, I'm like, it's not a big deal. But a year in, it's really starting to wane on me and really starting to... So to the point of I will literally, if I'm laying in bed, I will put a pillow on my chest and of a hard pillow just so I can lay the Steam Deck on that and then put all the weight into the pillow so I don't have to hold it physically as much. And then I just kind of can easily rest my hands and play while it's putting the weight on something else. So I'm always trying to like rig it in a way like that. Makes me want to buy one of those like arm things you can pull out from the side of the bed, pull in front and just stick the Steam Deck on that just so I don't have to hold it. But when I'm playing, like, especially because I have a Switch Lite that I use a ton now. My original Switch, honestly, I don't think I ever use it much at all. I used to use the TV version a ton, but now I just love how comfortable and nice the Switch Lite feels that I just forget playing on the TV. I'll just play on this thing constantly. So I've really grown fond of the Switch Lite, and it's obviously very, very light compared to the Steam Deck. And that's where my battle comes in. So it doesn't look like if I'm getting the OLED, like that's something that I'm now gaining because there's a similar weight there. But yeah, that's it. Those are the three cons. Everything else, I'm trying to think. We talked about it when we were first using it a lot of how it's made me a lot more social of like with the device. So I'll be in the living room chilling on the couch, talking to whoever, sitting in the chair, you know, and just moving about the house and it not feeling like I'm like throwing on headphones, going into a screen, like being all hardcore. Like I can just chill wherever and play games. And it's really nice and convenient in that manner. And when it comes to just other people in your family, now you're just hanging out with them more, talking more, stuff like that. So it really, I don't know, it eases a lot of, I usually don't game with headphones anyway, because I don't like being in that mode. Even like VR, for example, of like, I don't like being restricted. I like being as free as possible kind of mindset. So handhelds appeal to me so much because of that. So if I can play, you know, awesome games like I don't know, from Halo Infinite to an Alan Wake. Here's what I do. I don't think people realize this. I play 90% on my Steam Deck, even my high-end PC games, because I don't run them on my Steam Deck. I just stream them to my Steam Deck. So I just run on my PC, use Moonlight on my Steam Deck, and the latency is so low, you can hardly tell. It's great. And then so I'll just be chilling around, playing high-end stuff on my Steam Deck, and that's pretty much how I use it. And if I want to play my consoles, I'll stream my consoles to my Steam Deck. And then so the majority of me playing a game, I'm playing on my Steam Deck, even when it comes to like Switch emulation, so I can mess with mods and stuff like that. Like, so it's become the device I easily use the most since I've gotten it when it comes to any other gaming hardware that I have. And I've adapted to it so much. And then it's basically my Steam Deck or my Switch Lite, and I bounce between the two. Even if I'm playing PlayStation games, even if I'm playing Xbox, even if I'm playing whatever, I'm just always just still streaming it to my Steam Deck. And then if I just want that couch, surround sound, big screen experience, then yes, I'll sit on the couch and play off the native consoles. But in any other scenario, I'm back on my Steam Deck. So it's a very big key point for me, and I love it. And I think if someone doesn't have one now, hey, it's even better to get one. $549, not too bad for an OLED Steam Deck. Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, the OLED aspect, man, it's so nice. I definitely want this thing now. Maybe could find a way to sell this thing off to someone or something. Grab one. That'd be awesome.
Actually, you probably could. You probably could sell it for $250 and then pay the difference. You know?
Yeah, but I have the highest model too. Maybe I could get a little more. I don't know.
I had the $400 one or $500, whatever it was. I don't remember what the price was. Other big things that I do when I'm using the Steam Deck is if I'm ever traveling, I will bring it, and I have a little dongle that allows me to connect it to a TV, so I can load it with movies, and then we go somewhere, I hook it up to a TV, and we watch whatever. If we're like hotel or something like that, you know. So I will have the dongle, and let's say I want to okay, well, I'm in my room. I don't really want to play handheld, but I want to play on the TV, but in my room, and then I'll just hook it up to the dongle I have in there, and then just connect a Switch Pro controller if I'm playing Switch emulation, or Xbox controller, or PlayStation controller if I'm playing streaming from my PlayStation, wherever the case is. So I use it a ton all over the house, whether it's connecting different TVs, take it with me very easily, because now I have a PC that I can carry around and store a bunch of stuff in, use a bunch of applications and stuff, and then sort of bring it with me, connect to a TV and that. And I just think its versatility and ease of use and the interface and just the impressiveness of what it can actually run on this thing. Yes, if you try to play, I've kind of ditched the idea of trying to play the most graphic intensive games at a 60 FPS on the Steam Deck native. If it's super intensive graphics, I'll just let my PC handle it and I'll stream it and just play it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if it can handle it native, I run it negative on it, and I just play it like that. And honestly, the experience is hardly different between the two. So
I totally agree. I've been, like I said before, I've been kind of using it I don't know, let me think. When I play Alan Wake 2, well, I can't play on Steam Deck, but even if I could, I'll probably spend more time.
I am playing Alan Wake 2 on Steam Deck because I'm playing it on my PC, but what I'm really doing is streaming it to my Steam Deck.
Streaming it, yeah. So that one, in my case, I'd probably be okay, I really want to sit down at my station and play it like that.
But it's way better to have a bigger screen and better sound and all of that. That's not really a game you'd want to play handheld. But I'm just letting you know, hey, I have been. It would just be late at night, and I'm like, hey, I kind of want to lay in the bed, but I don't want to quit playing Alan Wake 2. Let me just shoot it over to my Steam Deck. And
that's awesome. And I'll talk about it more later, but I have to say, I really do like the sort of spooky feel that Alan Wake creates. I think they do it really good. So I'm super excited to put on some headphones late night, on my computer and play part 2. So definitely excited about that. So the Steam Deck stuff is awesome. It's such a great system. I still can't believe it's a real thing, but here we are.
So, all right, let's get over the details of the just differences between two models here. So the price, the original Steam Deck is $399, and that's the cheapest model of that, right? Well, the cheapest model of the Steam Deck OLED is $549, or they have a price of $649. So in terms of, you buying the highest priced, and then this one being the highest priced of $649 with more features and less price, but you have also gotten over a year and a half worth of play out of this thing. So you could have saved hundreds, but it's okay, saved 100 while you sat there and didn't have it. So it's I don't know. Anyway, All right, but same CPU, same GPU. So you're not going to get any difference in terms of a game like running better or looking better outside of the screen looking better. Now, it initially comes with more storage right from the get go, and it now has 90 hertz support on the display instead of 60. It has 5.3 Bluetooth instead of 5.0. It does have better Wi-Fi in it, so like downloads could happen faster, or maybe streaming because I do it a ton. Maybe it could even be even better on this version. I would assume so. But again, it's so good. I don't know how much really better you could get without it being physically connected. And then that's how I'm feeling of how great that Moonlight is. And then battery life is a huge jump up. So the original was like 2 to 8. This one's like 3 to 12. So I would assume just like on average, you'd probably get 2 to 3 more hours out of what you were used to prior, which is a pretty big ordeal because that was one of the weaknesses of the Steam Deck. I don't think it was like a big weakness, so I wasn't really like thinking about it when we were thinking of the cons. So I've gotten pretty used to it. And it's not a big deal. Like, I don't know. I'm never just sitting in one spot for 2 hours playing a handheld. If I am, I just plug it in. So I don't know. I've never really been in a situation where like, oh, I can't plug this device in, but I'm going to be somewhere for a few hours of playing constantly and not being able to plug it in. Whether that's plug it in and keep playing or just go plug it in, charge, and do something else. So it's just like, it's kind of a non-issue with me with the battery thing on how I live. But I still think it's pretty important that, hey, instead of like that 2 hours we were getting on a super intensive game, now we could get like 4 or 5. That's pretty cool.
No, that's definitely awesome. You know, and I play similar to you. I'm usually always in a situation where I can plug in, but it is very nice to have extra boost there. You know?
Yeah. If I was traveling around a lot, it'd be nice knowing like, oh, I'm sort of like, I don't know, I have to go to this location. I'm kind of stuck here for a couple hours and I don't know what to do. And if I play a Steam Deck, it's only done in an hour. But again, even then, like, when has that actually happened to where like you're somehow by yourself in an empty room and all you have is a Steam Deck and you have to entertain yourself for 3 hours? It's like, I don't know, it's such a weird hypothetical that never even applies. So, but yeah, that's all I really wanted to say on this Steam Deck OLED, and it's pretty cool. Maybe if I could sell it for a decent amount and then pay the difference or whatever, I could consider it. Otherwise, I'm not like itching too hard. I'm good. The thing is I know that you don't have it installed, and you really, really should. Forget any other modifications you can apply to the Steam Deck. Once you get that Decky thing installed, the most important thing is this thing called Vibrance, where you can change the like saturation and colors on the Steam Deck. Actually, I'm saying all this, and I totally forgot. They just released a way to do that native on the Steam Deck. I want to say in the last update or the one about to come up. Hold on.
Okay.
They actually just addressed this. Anyway, it almost looks like it's not quite OLED on like the blacks and vibrance of the colors, but when you mess with it, you can greatly increase it, and it looks so much more vibrant than it does like originally. And anytime I laugh so hard because my vibrance is at like 150. If I go back to the 100 default now, everything looks so washed out and dull, and I'm like, ew, gross. I'm like, I can't believe this is how it is originally. And it's really funny to me, and I really would like to see the other side, but there's no reason to mod anymore because they just added it, and I want to see if I can find it. Here it is. Okay, in the 3.5 update, did that drop yet? When does the 3.5 update come out? This is important. Okay, it's out. It's the current version as of like October, like mid-October. So as long as your Steam's updated now, when you go to the options on the side there and you have like display, audio, Bluetooth, whatever, go to display, you'll have a color vibrance that you can enable, and then you can mess with the color temperature. And I'm telling you, you really should, because those colors look far more vibrant with that on, and it makes it feel like you're playing OLED. Here is like an image that I'm going to send you. I guess we'll just do it in this, and then try to like zoom in, because the picture's not. I think whoever took this was like, okay, at least darken the room you're in or something, but you'll get enough of an idea.
I see. Yeah,
it's like way more green and way more vivid and all of that.
Okay.
And I think it greatly enhances the experience. So
that is cool. I like that. All right.
So yes, it's in the latest version. Because I remember that was the only reason I had this mod still enabled, just so I could mess with that, because it made it feel like I was playing OLED almost. So anyway.
Right. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get on to the next story here. It's quite a bit.
Mario Kart?
Yep.
All right. I'll take this one. I've been actually playing this, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe update 3.0.0 patch notes. Nintendo has removed the controversial bagging strategy. I actually didn't know what this was. I had to look it up, but bagging, sort of sandbagging, deliberately weighing yourself at the beginning only to remove the weights and perform better later. Basically means just that Mario Kart 8, players will start slow in the race in order to pick up an overpowered item, work their way back up into contention, and then use the item to guarantee victory. So hold on, before we continue, I guess I've always known that this was a possibility, and it never bugged me, I guess.
Exactly.
I always felt like, okay, I'm still going to try it again first, get some protecting items, and I mean, you could still, I don't know, I just don't really see this as a huge issue. You're taking a huge risk by staying back anyway, even if it's in the first lap, but I don't know. I just didn't, it didn't seem to be like a broken issue that needed to be fixed.
Well, it's only if you think about it, right when you get to the first item line, you could just sort of like go back. Maybe 3 or 4 seconds. And then if you get a good enough item, a star or whatever, because anything's going to be available right from the start. So you could just get some crazy, the Magic 8 or something, and then just dominate the whole race. So like I could see of why you'd want to do it. I didn't even know it was a thing. And then I started seeing a bunch of like looking it up and seeing videos, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. It actually was one people's using a lot and winning because of it. So now if you do it, you're just going to, it won't get anything too good based off of, like at the beginning of the race, I guess they just throw like trash items now or something to sort of fix it.
I saw another article where it said if it detects you either reversing or standing still at the beginning of the race, that's how they'll sort of do it. So, okay, interesting. But anyway, to continue, they added paid DLC Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pathway 6, 2 more cups, 8 courses, 4 characters, 17 new racing suits. Added a music button at the top of the menu. There's a feature where you can listen to the background music that plays during the game as you like. Even players who don't own the Booster Course Pass can listen to the background music of the DLC courses. And add a feature where other players who aren't friends can join in a room. After creating a room, press the plus button and minus button to display the room ID on the room screen. Tell your fellow racers the room ID. The other racers can join by entering the room ID and search by room ID. They also made it so you can create a room even if you have 0 friends registered. Added staff friends with the Booster Course Pass. Increased the visibility time of a portion of characters and vehicle customizations. Made it so that you can't acquire strong items taking an item box by stopping and driving in reverse, or taking an item box that is in the same location multiple times during the race. Short the time between when an item box is acquired by someone until it is restored. Lower the appearance rate of mirror and 200cc in worldwide and regional. Made it so you can acquire the various suit using a Metroid Series amiibo. Made it so same thing for Helium suit, Kirby suit, Daisy suit. Fixed an issue where no Bob-omb car blows up in Wii Moonview Highway, but a Bob-omb car blows up for someone you're playing with online. Very specific. Fixed an issue where when racing against the Ghost of Time trials on Yoshi's Island, the red road would not appear even though Ghost touched the wing cloud. So I think it's pretty impressive that all these years later they're still updating the game in such a big way, adding all this content. They just finished putting out 48 more tracks on top of 48 tracks. Pretty amazing. So yeah, hats off to that, man. Such a good value.
Yeah, it looks to me like they're just trying to put a final seal on it and then just be like, let's focus on other things, which is obviously going to be working towards other things within this Switch 2 or Super Switch or whatever, which has me excited. So, I was going to say small thing here, but let's just say short story here. Rockstar Games, we are very excited to let you know that in early December, we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. We will look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with you. Thank you, Sam Hauser.
Pretty awesome, man. I'm very excited to see this finally.
What
do you think?
There's not really much to really say. It's obviously going to sell a ton. Everyone's going to love it. It's probably going to be amazing. The only thing where you could maybe comment on something is in the manner of a lot of the writers not being there, and there's some worry on that of like, what if it's not as good? There's a lot of people that were there at all the previous games no longer there, including some really head writers. So it's like, that's my only, like, I'm very curious how this is going to turn out. Otherwise, I'm sure it'll be fantastic either way.
Yeah.
It's just too much money is the problem. It's like, people would be more shocked if it was bad than if it was good, I feel.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see what, I don't even know what to, a little bit of what to expect, obviously, but when they have their nice polished trailer, that'll be nice to see, So, looking forward to that one for sure. I think it's the next one. Sony has delayed half of its planned PlayStation Live service games. We are reviewing this. We are trying as much as possible to ensure that these games are enjoyed and liked by gamers for a long time. Totoki said on the earnings call. Of the 12 titles, 6 titles will be released by fiscal year 2025. That's our current plans. As for the remaining 6 titles, we are still working on that. He continued stating that that's the total number of live service and multiplayer titles. Mid to long term, we want to push this kind of service, and that's the unchanged policy of the company. It's not like we stick to certain titles, but game quality should be the most important thing. In terms of PlayStation multiplayer offerings, we know it acquired Firewalk Studios in April to develop a AAA multiplayer game. We also know the next Last of Us game, assuming it is still released one day, is a multiplayer factions-like project. Rumors point to Guerrilla Games working on some kind of online multiplayer game set in Will of Horizon 2. Plus, Bungie is working on Marathon and while it will be released on PlayStation 5, it's also coming to Xbox Series XS and PC. Honestly, for me personally, I don't care that much about live service games, so this doesn't really bug me that much. I'd be way more upset about their single-player games. And I am actually upset that the one live service game I am upset about is what's happening with factions, because I'm excited about that. So that kind of sucks. But otherwise, I don't feel like I really am that invested, although a ton of people are,
They originally announced 10. They then increased to 12. And then now it's like, okay, now we're down to just 6 that we're working on right now and trying to have those 6 out by 2025 and then going and looking at those other 6 after the fact instead of, I'm guessing prior to this, they were just working throughout them all. And I guess they just sort of put a bunch on a back burner, just to 6. And I don't think this is... It's stupid that PlayStation, I think, is even trying to go this route for me personally, just because I don't really care much about live service games. But, that's just my taste. I'm sure there's plenty of people that would like live service games and a more polished, high-end development teams to make those. But I don't know. It's in terms of people taking this and like, oh, it's looking doom and gloomish. I really am not. I think they're more just stating what we read on. We're just trying to shift our focus into just 6 and just bring it down a bit and try to make these a lot better. And it's basically, I think they're seeing that it's a lot harder than what they were expecting, especially after other stories of like, with The Last of Us, right? Factions. It was more of like, Bungie's like, oh, it's not in good shape. But then later on, we started hearing a lot more of like, well, now we don't even know if they're even working on it currently. So,
right.
But,
we don't know.
As a whole, though, is it dumb for Sony to like bank on online games? I wouldn't go that far. I personally don't like them, but there's a lot of money to be had with it and all of that. But we are seeing a shift now in this last, I'd say, year or two, to where they're really starting to die really quickly, and everyone seems to be kind of getting over them. I do feel that in the air.
Yep. No, I think it's definitely something that it's becoming more and more prominent. You know, people are starting to really, I don't know, I think a lot of people are kind of over it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next up, it looks like a tweet from Nintendo. This is Miyamoto. I've been working on the live-action film of The Legend of Zelda for many years now with Avi Arad-san, who has produced many mega-hit films. I love when they translate Japanese to English. It sounds so like robotic sometimes.
Yeah.
I've asked Avi-san to produce the film with me, and we have now officially started the development of the film. Nintendo itself heavily involved in the production. It will take time until its completion, but I hope you will look forward to seeing it. Great. I mean, that's fantastic news, you know? I remember when we had that April Fool's all those years ago?
Yeah.
Of the Zelda movie?
One. So, what do you think about it being live action? That's pretty wild.
I think it's a dangerous line to walk, but I think it has the potential to be really cool if they do it right.
You have to, for sure, get in the right person's hands. And now, with Mario, they did. I actually, even though I do not care about Minion movies, they are a studio that would be really good at making graphical environments for a Mario film.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was perfect match. So, live action, right? With the style of Zelda, you know, when you think of different like film directors, it's like, where do you think Nintendo would be even looking at being like, hey, we should get this guy to do it, you know?
Right.
You don't want like an M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh my God.
Right?
The twist. Link killed the whole Yakuza village. I agree with you. I'll be curious to see. I am surprised honestly that they took this approach after the success of Mario, you know. But hey, maybe they have something up their sleeve, you know.
The problem is, who would be perfect is Peter Jackson, but he's so just like retired and done at this point. But that would be the perfect, like if it was in a style like Lord of the Rings. I mean, come on, that fit perfect. So without that, I'm trying to think. But you kind of want a sort of like, you know, like hop, skip, and a jump kind of attitude with it, where it's like chipper, but it can get dire. You know, and I'm trying to run through my head of like, I mean, you know, who I think actually could is like James Cameron. I think he actually could do it. Funny enough,
James Cameron would be, you know, that might not be a bad choice.
Yeah,
and, you know, Nintendo's got the money to get the big people in there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they could get who they wanted. I don't think that would be a problem. Especially when we saw with the Mario stuff. The actors they got for the film clearly like exactly who they were wanting. They're picking, and then the other person just saying yes. You know, it's not like they're gonna say no. So I think they have that amount of power, right? But I don't think you could do like a Tim Burton Zelda. You know, like So I'm just hoping and praying it's not Marvel attitude. I don't need Link to be all like sarcastic and
super comedic.
Yeah. Like I want him to genuinely feel heroic, you know, and powerful and courageous and all of that. Like, you know, and I feel Nintendo wouldn't mess that up.
No, I don't think so. I think they really want to keep him, you know, appearing as this sort of hero archetype, you know, kind of thing. So, yeah. But that's exciting. That's cool. You know, I'm curious to see where it goes. Either way, I'm going to watch it. So,
yeah. Even if it's a train wreck, I'm definitely watching.
Even if it's a train wreck, I'll be there to check it
out. Okay. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is the best-selling Super Mario game, selling 4.3 million copies in 2 weeks.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And then the Nintendo Switch has now surpassed 132 million units sold.
God, getting close.
Where
what is the PS2 again? PS2 lifetime sale. What was it, like 150 something? 158.
Man,
Okay.
only 26 million away. I mean,
I
I
think
know.
I'll hit it. I think I'll hit it.
That would be awesome for the legacy of the Switch to have that title.
It literally reaches #1 top sold console of all time, and then they don't release a Switch 2 afterwards.
Oh my God! We've seen this lasting 5 more years. Like, what the heck? They get 200 million.
No, I was thinking in the vein of like they come out with some completely different gimmick of like now it's a hardcore gaming machine or something, and it's just like a big fucking brick you stick next to your television.
Man,
And
awesome.
I mean, to be honest, I'd still buy it.
Pretty amazing though, man. Amazing accomplishment. So. All right, next up, Marvel Spider-Man 2 hits 5 billion sold in 11 days. I mean, I'm not surprised.
It beat Mario.
Spider-Man. Right. That's great. That's great. I haven't had that much time to play Spider-Man, honestly. I'm going to get to it. But I'm sure it's fantastic. You know, it looks like a good game. What I played was fun. So yeah, good on them. I guess just keep going with the quick one. Fortnite had its biggest day ever with 44 million players. Jesus Christ. I think the throwback OG season. Is this game ever going to die? Or I don't know.
It just had its biggest day, so I don't think so.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
it is still clearly kicking strong. Now, games, I mean, we just listed a bunch of things like record-breaking stuff, right? I mean, I've said it in prior shows, but now even more. I mean, gaming is still just making more and more revenue in total. And just, I'm shocked at how much money is getting poured into gaming now. And both its creation of the games and just how many copies they sell and how many systems they sell. It continuously just is more popular than it was the day before. And it's just been on this climb since it pretty much was invented. So, you know, I think that's interesting because so many mediums have these like ebb and flows, and it's like gaming has just yet to slow down on its trajectory. Yeah. So,
agreed.
Yeah.
Yep. Very cool. So, I mean, listen, even if I don't play it, whatever, people still enjoying it, I guess keep it going, you know, until people are done with it. So,
all right, let's get into what we're watching, what we're playing.
All right. So I'll just mention briefly, I am wrapping up the Wave 6 of Mario Kart. You know, I always try to 3-star everything. I've done everything up 200cc, and I'm on the final cup of 200. Actually, I would have been done, but I got to the last turn of Rainbow Road on the last track, which, by the way, that new Rainbow Road they brought back from Wii, I think it was, one of my all-time favorites, so I'm really happy it's in this. But anyway, got to the last turn, and I got stuck, someone passed me. So you got to do it one time. But it's been a lot of fun revisiting this game, you know, like going through and trying to 3-star everything again. It's been a blast. So great game, super fun. Not much more to say. Also, I've been watching Invincible. Has come back for season 2. I read all the comics for Invincible. Like, I just got obsessed. I read everything. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was super
obviously
good.
Tell me.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Now, I do know that they're not following it to the T. So, but I'm assuming the majority is still just the core being there, right? Is that how it's going?
Yes, I have not seen anything in the show that didn't happen in the comics, first of all.
Okay.
They just seem to be, they jump around a bit. Some things are a little faster, some things are expanded upon more. Like so far, season 2, I feel like they're moving right along. They're moving at a pretty decent pace. But I am very excited for... Have you watched any of season 2 yet or no?
Well, I watched that first episode last week.
Okay. So that guy Angstrom Levy, he's a really, really big character, you know, in this next arc, and it's some really awesome stuff that happens.
It feels that way to me. It feels like they're building him up to be a really important character. So.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely an important character. Man, just wait and see where this show goes.
Is the second episode out now? When does
it is.
Okay.
Actually, they released episode 2, and they released an Adam Eve sort of side episode. So I'm almost done with episode 2, and I'm gonna watch the Adam Eve one after. So as someone who's done the comics, I'm super happy with the way they're doing this. I think they're doing a great job of showing like the really great parts that need to be shown. Obviously, a show you can't have everything. So I'm super excited. I think it's great so far. So yeah, super excited about that. But finally, which I'm most excited about is this whole Alan Wake journey I've been on. I will say, when I first started Alan Wake Remastered, I really didn't like the gameplay. I kind of was like not feeling it. Felt very challenging, but not in like this is a fun challenge. It just kind of felt like a little cheap to me. As I played more of it, so the story, I'm definitely very intrigued. I really enjoy it. I really like it. The mechanics of the game started to really draw me in, like the whole, flat blind them first, and then take off their shield and then shoot them. I started to really like that. I started to get really good at it. And I was like, oh, this kind of feels, it's nothing has changed in terms of do I feel like it's definitely a dated game? Yeah, I still feel like. However, now that I've gotten better at it, I kind of enjoy the interactions more now. Like, let me blind this guy, really hoard my resources, shoot this guy twice, do the dodge perfectly. Like, I'm getting way better at it. Now it's more fun,
Well, what's funny is what you just said is what's happened to me with Alan Wake 2, because even last week I was like, yeah, the combat's a lot better. It is. Sure. But I'm still just like, do I love it though? Not really.
Right,
now I'm kind of at the level to where now that I understand the rhythms a lot more, I'm not dying nearly as much. I'm completely understanding it. I'm having a lot more fun with it. I'm starting to understand it's just ebb and flows with it. And by the point that I'm at now, into like, I think I have a far greater impression of it than what I did last week.
Yeah, definitely. And that's with a game that's newer. They had a lot of time to perfect their craft. Yeah. So with this game that's way older, obviously, I was really worried, like, man, how am I going to make it through this whole game when I'm really not enjoying playing it? But like I said, as I've gotten further, I've really started to enjoy it. I'm on the final chapter. I seem to be pretty close to the end from what I can tell. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And I'm just so excited to continue. Like, we'll see. I'm going to try to knock out those 2 episodes tonight, because from what I can tell, they're both pretty short. Like you can beat both of them in like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. So I'm going to try to do those 2. Then obviously I'm going to do American Nightmare, which from what I can tell is a few hours long. And then I'm going to do the Control DLC, a few hours long. And then finally Alan Wake 2. So I'm pretty pumped. Although I was looking, am I going to play this at 1440p and have decent frame rate? My God, these requirements seem totally outrageous. I just don't know.
I play 60 at 1440. Yes.
Oh, okay.
But again, there's just these advanced features that they're adding in this game. You can toggle on and get to look really, really good.
Gotcha.
But as long as you kept those off and stuck to it, just like I want to say with your specs, you should be able to do just ultra 1440 and at least hit 60. I'm hitting like high settings, 80, 90 FPS kind of range, and then I just cap it at 60 so it doesn't fluctuate. Sure. And then it's 1440p high, no problem. So I'm sure you could do ultra on that. But I just have a lot of like new advanced stuff ticked off. And
okay. But I'm super excited, man. I'm seeing people posting about, oh my God, I love this character, or I can't believe Alan Wake doing this crazy story. I just can't. I have so much FOMO right now. I'm like, I can't wait to get to it. But I'm glad that I'm doing it this way. I'm glad I'm not just doing a recap, because I really do kind of understand I don't know, I feel like I have the background of how these games play now, what you're trying to do, and it just feels better to have played.
Do you have any guesses on like where you're going to be playing, who you're going to be playing, all of that with like Alan Wake 2?
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm very close to the end.
Well, we're at the end of the episode here, okay? So if you guys don't want to hear spoilers, let's go ahead and just get into spoilers, because we're right here at the end anyway.
Okay.
Just know, if you want to dip, Persona 5 Tactica comes out the 17th, Super Mario RPG comes out the 17th. Those are 2 big bangers. Otherwise,
next weekend.
Yeah.
Wow, I just forgot about that. But okay. All right, so let's get into it, right? So basically, and I will admit, and I've admitted this on this podcast before, sometimes with games that have sort of complicated stories, every single thing, sometimes I have a little trouble like keeping up with everything, right? So obviously I'm going to watch
That's a norm for this, so continue.
Right. So after I'm done with this, I'm first going to watch a recap of Alan Wake before I even play the other stuff. I'm going to continue from there. Anyway, so right now, from what I understand, so I was with the sheriff very.
I don't want to say anything to ruin it, so I need to know where you're at.
So I had the beginning of chapter 6. I had that flashback 2 years before. Alan's like having a hangover. His wife's kind of like upset with him, and then we're back in present time. We're trying to get to this lady. Forgot her name actually, because we're trying to do something with the story to be able to save Alice.
Yes.
And so I'm pretty much getting there. I'm trying to approach this person.
What's the environment you're in right now? Like, are you?
It was.
Are you like around the lake? Where are you at?
Oh my god! I was just getting to. Actually, I haven't because I was curious how far I was in. It was. Hold on. It was. Because I was in an area where I was fighting a bunch of enemies and had to push these mine carts out of the way. Okay, drive down the road to the hotel. I remember doing that.
Okay.
There's a roadblock. I just can't. I'm having trouble remembering the name of the place that he said he was heading towards. I mean,
you're
I check right now.
going to go save her right now.
That's what we're trying to do. Yes. Let me just pull it up.
You know where she's at?
No, actually, I think that's what I'm talking about. I think I might have missed that exact detail.
Do you want me to tell you? Or
I mean, what I know
is if they would have told you yet or not, I don't know. So,
hold on. Let me before you tell me anything. I'm moving up the game right now. Let me just see real quick.
It's like I don't want to say or not say certain. I don't know. I think it's gonna be too hard.
It's a little confusing because I will admit I'm not playing this game like I'm gonna play Alan Wake 2, where I'm like really paying attention 100%. You know what I mean? Like I'm playing this, I'm kind of listening to other stuff because I'm trying to get through it. But it says get to Cauldron Lake now.
Okay.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, okay.
So now it's coming back to me. I remember he saw his vision. He thinks she's in the lake, right? That's what we assumed was the case.
Yes.
We're trying to get there. Now,
okay.
Sorry, I was drawing a total
You're
blank
about
for a
to see
second.
it. Yes. Okay.
I was drawing a blank there because I was just, I don't know, I forgot.
So, part 2 starts at the lake. Just know that.
Very cool. Okay. That's actually really cool. How about the 2 episodes that I'm about to play? Do those take place
in that same area? Because the 2 DLCs, you go somewhere else. Okay. But the one with Scratch with American Nightmare, that is basically connecting the end to Alan Wake 2. That's a big connection right there.
So this has been
you're going into I forget the name, Dark Realm or something like that. They mention it a lot during Alan Wake, but it's like this other reality of like darkness or whatever. And that's where she's at. So you you should know that it's like at the lake. She's in darkness or whatever. So you're about to see what happens here, and I guess I was about to say something, but just part 2.
I'll reach out to you tonight after I beat it, so we can chat. Oh man, what was I just about to say? I think that's really cool how they connected all this. It almost seems like they've had this idea for a long time. Has this game been wanting to be made for a long time? Have they been trying for a long time?
Well, when part 1 ends, it's definitely like you can tell, like, oh no, there's going to be something after this, because it's I just wish I could say something happens and it definitely is like, oh, okay, well now we need to see basically the second half of the story, or at least there could be 4 parts after. I don't know, but
I can't wait, dude.
Yeah. It's but it makes sense when I started Alan Wake 2 of like, why am I playing a different character? This is dumb. But once I'm realizing and thinking about what's all happening, it makes total sense. You have to have a second character for Alan Wake 2 to work, because at the end of Alan Wake 1, you're like, what the fuck kind of ending is this? And
all right.
And then anyway.
All right, so I'm gonna try. My goal for tonight is to beat Alan Wake and beat the 2 episodes at least.
Because you're at the same location with like the lake, and then you have like the diner and whatever. You're walking these same streets and 2 as a different person.
Actually, let me make sure I have American Nightmare downloaded already. Yes. Yep, I have it downloaded already. Okay. So once I'm ready, I'll jump into that and go from there. So pretty pumped, man.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad I decided to jump. I think you talking about it, everyone else got me excited. Like, finally, it's about time to play the game. So. But all right, I'll let you know. I'll reach out to you later.
I was so tempted to just spoil it, and I'm just like,
don't do it.
No, I'm not. One thing happens, and then now you know how Alan Wake 2 is going to work. And it's annoying that I was hoping you saw something first, but you haven't yet. So anyway.
I haven't gotten there yet, or I missed it?
No, you haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you're arriving at the lake. Something happens at the lake that I was seeing if what happened.
Can't wait. Wait, just tell me this before you go. In Alan Wake 2, I don't mind if the game is challenging, but is it more like reasonable with dying all the freaking time and not being able to fight off enemies like it is in 1? Because in 1, sometimes it feels like you're like overwhelmed. There's barely anything you can do at times.
Well, the dodge mechanic in 2, once I figured it out, it's almost to the levels of dodge with that Callisto Protocol, where it's like, this is so weird. But once you figure out the dodge, it almost becomes too easy to get away from people.
Okay.
But I was having a really hard time getting the dodge down. I didn't get what was going on because it just moves really fucking weird. But honestly, as long as you know that when you're dodging, honestly, the character, I don't think they can hit you as long as you're dodging. I want to say you just straight up get invincible frames. But I've never straight tested dodging into them and seeing what took place. But I could seem to get away from anything if I just tap the dodge. And I'm just like, oh, okay. There's too many points where you actually just need to kill things. Okay. So you can't just run around dodging from everything and avoiding everything. You're not going to make any progress that way. A lot of the parts of the game. So don't think you could cheese it like that.
Right. Okay.
So many times it forces you to kill something, so something then happens with that death. So anyway,
all right. I'm excited, man.
But yeah, Super Mario RPG 17th. So what is that? So that's next Friday. I am playing Star Ocean Second Story. Playing more of that.